In 334 BC, a 20-year-old king from a small northern kingdom began a campaign that would reshape the ancient world forever. His name was Alexander of Macedonia. Ambitious, brilliant, and fearless, he set out to challenge the greatest superpower of his age, the mighty Persian Empire. What began as a single campaign soon evolved into one of the most extraordinary military conquests in human history. Over the next 10 years, Alexander pushed the boundaries of the known world farther than any general before him, forging an empire that stretched from Greece to Egypt, and from the Middle East to the edges of India. To understand the rise of Alexander, we must go back to ancient Greece, a land where art, philosophy, and warfare defined daily life. Two great city-states shaped the region: Athens, the center of democracy and culture, and Sparta, a society built entirely around military discipline. Despite their differences, both had once united to defeat a massive Persian invasion. Victories at Thermopylae, Salamis, and Plataea turned the tide of history, but the wars left deep rivalries among the Greek states. For nearly a century, Greece remained consumed by internal conflict, leaving it weakened and distracted. North of these feuding cities lay Macedonia, once dismissed by sophisticated Greeks as a land of uncivilized hill people. But under King Philip II, Macedonia transformed into a formidable military power. Philip introduced the sarissa, an 18-foot pike that revolutionized warfare. Combined with strict training and a deeply loyal army, Macedonia rose from the margins to dominate the Greek world. After a decisive victory at the Battle of Kyrenia, Philip united all of Greece into the Hellenic League. His next target was Persia, an ailing but still enormously wealthy empire. But before Philip could begin his invasion, he was assassinated amid political intrigue. The throne passed to his 20-year-old son, Alexander, a prince trained by Aristotle, hardened in battle, and destined for greatness. Alexander quickly eliminated his rivals, crushed rebellions, and re-established Macedonian authority. In doing so, he proved that he possessed not only his father's military genius, but also a relentless drive to achieve something greater. In the spring of 334 BC, Alexander crossed the Hellespont into Asia with an army of 40,000. His force included the Macedonian phalanx, armed with the long sarissa, elite shield-bearers known as hypaspists, expert javelin throwers called the Agrians, and the fearsome companion cavalry led by Alexander himself. Opposing him were the Persian satraps of Asia Minor, overseers of vast provinces who commanded troops from all corners of the empire. Alexander met his first major resistance at the river Granicus. Persian satraps assembled their cavalry on the far bank, ready to crush the invaders. Many advisors urged Alexander to wait until morning, but he refused. Determined to strike immediately, he led his cavalry across the river under a storm of javelins. A chaotic struggle followed on the riverbank, where Alexander personally fought Persian nobles in brutal close combat. In a moment that nearly altered the course of history, he was struck on the helmet by a sword, only saved by the intervention of a loyal companion. With the Macedonian phalanx finally crossing the river, the Persian line collapsed. The victory opened the gateway to Asia Minor. As Alexander advanced, cities fell or surrendered. But the Persian Empire was not finished. Its true strength lay deeper inland under King Darius III. Determined to halt Alexander's advance, Darius assembled a massive army and marched north. Unexpectedly appearing behind Alexander near the coastal town of Issus. With their backs to the sea and their escape route blocked, the Macedonians had no choice but to fight. The Battle of Issus was fierce and chaotic. Alexander, commanding the right wing, smashed into the Persian cavalry, while the Macedonian phalanx struggled against a wall of Greek mercenary hoplites fighting for Persia. Seeing his center falter, Alexander launched himself into the heart of the battlefield and drove directly toward Darius. The great king, gripped by fear, turned his chariot and fled. Without their leader, Persian morale collapsed. Greek forces captured Darius's family, whom Alexander treated with remarkable dignity, reinforcing his growing image as both conqueror and liberator. With western Persia collapsing, Alexander turned south to neutralize Persian naval power. One by one, coastal cities pledged allegiance, except for the island fortress of Tyre. Tyre resisted for 7 months, forcing Alexander